Derek, who will introduce themselves later. But Mindful Mondays is brand new at the AGW, where we meet on select Mondays of each month on Zoom for some mindful looking. We'll take a little extra time to look, listen, and relax with our team of educators and mindfulness guides. And through art and guided meditation, you'll connect with yourself and others as you reflect on a work from the AGW collection or current exhibition. This event is being recorded and will be available online for a second viewing, and we encourage you to use the chat function and participate in the discussion as well. We're also streaming live to Facebook. For more information on this program and so many other wonderful programs, we invite you to visit us online at agw.ca. And before we get going, I'd like just to take a minute to acknowledge the land on which we gather today. So while this program is happening digitally today, I want to acknowledge that I'm physically situated on Anishinaabe territory, the traditional territory of the Three Fires Confederacy of First Nation, comprised of the Ojibwe, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi. Today, the Anishinaabe of the Three Fires Confederacy are represented by Walpole Island First Nation. We want to state our respect of the historical and ongoing authority of Walpole Island First Nation over its territory. And I'll pass it over to Derek.
Mute myself. Hello, good morning. Thank you so much, Sophie, for that introduction and for welcoming us all here and bringing us all together of one mind to acknowledge our position here on the land and our relationship here. So I'm here to guide us through a little relaxation, meditation, and to get us really connected to this present moment with our breathing. And so I'm just going to bring up my little script and I'm going to start my little timer. I'm keeping an eye on the time, so no one need worry. You can really just allow yourself to start to enjoy connecting to our breath and taking a nice tall sitting posture, a comfortable seat. Might remove some of the flesh from underneath our bums to get onto the sitting bones. And perhaps you want to cross your legs, or if you'd rather have your feet just resting on the floor. We're going to bring our attention to the present moment by noticing each breath. So every inhale and every exhale. Finding a nice comfortable rhythm of your own breathing. You can allow your eyes to close, or you can let your gaze be soft and just focusing on our breathing, slowly inhaling and exhaling. As we're noticing our breathing, we may notice some things about our bodies, the subtle sensations as we're breathing. Just taking note and keeping our mind's eye on our breath. And as we're breathing, we might notice subtle qualities of the spaces that we're sitting in, perhaps the noise that may come from the streets over the microphone as you're listening to me. Just noticing those thoughts and continuing to keep our mind's eye focused on our breath. If you ever find yourself lost in your thoughts, you've gotten distracted, just gently bring your attention back to your breathing. We'll share in a few moments of silence, enjoying our breathing. being in our bodies and in the spaces that we're in. Continuing to inhale and exhale slowly. I welcome you to relax the muscles in your face, allowing your jaw to relax, perhaps letting your jaw open slightly, releasing any tension and relaxing your face. And relaxing the muscles of your scalp and your neck, letting your head perhaps move forward just slightly, tucking your chin slightly in, feeling a little stretch to the back of your head. This might create a gentle constriction of the passageway through your throat, and so your breath will be more audible as it travels through your throat to fill up your lungs, and then as it leaves your body as you exhale. And relaxing the muscles in your shoulders, allowing this sensation of relaxation to move down your torso, down your arms, your hands, over your back, over your chest. This relaxation moving down over your stomach to the base of your spine. And allow this relaxation to spread down your thighs, your knees, your lower legs, and your feet, reaching the tip of your toes. Any tension just melting away. Relaxation throughout your body. Continuing to inhale, to exhale slowly. You can scan your body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes and your fingers, allowing your entire body to enjoy relaxation. And if you feel any part of your body that's not relaxed, take a deep breath and send your breath to that area, imagining the warmth and relaxation of the breath soothing it, soothing away the tension leaving your body as you exhale. And taking a few more moments to notice our breath and enjoy this relaxation. And to end our meditation now, to open our eyes downcast at the floor, I welcome us to notice our hands, to appreciate our hands, all that we do with them, to take this moment to also reflect on our ancestors, everyone who's ever come before us and made our life possible. Appreciating this gift of life and this day, and thanking everyone that we're sharing this gift of life with right now. Everyone who's alive in this moment, and also the future generations to come. As we're looking at our hands and thinking about our ancestors, also thinking about the shared responsibility we have to the future generations to ensure that the earth is good for them too, that there's clean water, clean air, and healthy soil for everyone to survive and to thrive. I welcome us to take our hands to our hearts and a moment to thank ourselves for taking time here together to share in this meditation. Maybe you wrap the hands onto a little hug. And then just taking a moment to come back into our little spaces, just looking around for a second and being like, oh, I like my little space that I got to meditate in. And then I want to bring us all together back into this call that we're in, this virtual hangout, and what yield the floor, so to speak, to my colleague Abby Lee to share some guided storytelling to take us through after this little relaxation.
Oh, thank you so much, Derek. I'm so relaxed after that. That was wonderful. So hello, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Abby Lee. I'm the Audience Engagement Coordinator at the AGW. And we're going to go into some mindful looking, storytelling, and visualization using Elaine Ling's work, Abandoned Namib Desert 3, which you can see on your screen now. So I'll give you a little bit of context to the work for those art enthusiasts out there, and then we'll go into more of the mindful storytelling aspect of our time together. So this image that you see, it's one of many in a series by Elaine Ling. It's from a diamond mining ghost town in the Namib Desert. So several years ago, a German mining corporation built up and occupied a town next to the mines. And this town housed the miners and their families. So when Elaine Ling arrived, she found these rows and rows of houses that were holding what she calls, a quote that I think is really interesting, the secret of these images. So at one point, all of these homes were completely unhindered by any of the sand that you see in this image. But over time, as the towns continued to be abandoned, the sand started to seep in slowly until the nature overtook this place that was once man-made. Elaine Ling has a really beautiful quote, which I'll leave you with today. She says that in this place's unrelenting sunlight and howling silence, I found somewhere that proclaims nature as the final winner. Man's absence is only acknowledged by the endless pulse of the moving dunes. So now that we have a bit of context to the work, we can kind of get into the mindful space that Derek so wonderfully started for us today. And I'll take a comfortable seated position of our choice. So if we have a chair with a back, we can sit up nice and straight with our feet on the ground. If cross-legged feels really nice for you, please feel free to do that. And once you have your comfortable seat, I'm going to take a nice deep breath in together, in through the nose, filling all the way to the tops of our chest. And then exhale all together, releasing the breath from the chest down to the solar plexus through the stomach. And as we go into our storytelling, whether you'd like to keep the work in your mind's eye and have your eyes closed, or whether you'd like to keep your eyes open to actually see the work, please feel free to do whatever feels most comfortable to reflect as we go through this process. So Elaine Ling in this work, she speaks to the nature of home, regardless of what the facts are or who did live here, I found the wallpaper in this particular work really, really interesting. So for those who have their eyes closed, you can take a look in your mind's eye. For those with their eyes open, we can look at the designs with our eyes wide open. And I know for myself, I have so many wonderful memories of going to the homes of some of my older relatives and trying to catch the shapes and the figures in the wallpaper, and just being really enamored by the wallpaper that existed within old homes. It's often very elaborate and not always something that we see in the newer homes we have these days. So as we're sitting and we're reflecting, let's just take some time to send some love and some appreciation and some care for those older homes that we've been in that have stood the test of time over decades and sometimes over centuries, and the people that lived within them as well. And these might be our own relatives who maybe we've, of course, this is maybe not in the times we're in right now, but maybe we've gone over to their homes to have a warm meal. And maybe we went over to play some games all together. And maybe we just went over to have a nice quiet time together, sitting and reading and enjoying each other's company. So now that we've kind of brought this to mind, I'd like us to shift our attention, again, either visually or in our mind's eye, to our next sort of portion of this image, the light streaming through the window. Now, I know when I first saw this image, and I welcome you all to include what you are thinking as well in the chat, I was really overcome those mornings where, you know, sometimes you have that morning where you wake up, you've had a really good sleep, and as you just crack your eyes open the slightest bit, you can see the sun starting to stream through your blinds. You can see beautiful golden rays of sun casting across your floor. And you just feel like, you know, right now with the sun coming in, so I'm comfortable in my bed, even though the day hasn't even started, the comforter all bunched around you, feeling that sense of warmth, that sense of safety, and that sense of gratitude, even though the day has not yet begun. So I'd love for us to go back to one of those moments we've had where maybe this moment is yet to come for you, and that's okay as well. And just settling into that feeling of seeing that wonderful warm light and feeling safe and held and grateful for what we have in that moment, even if it is for just a moment in time. Enjoying that space that we have as we're sitting there, nice and cozy, right before the day is set to begin. As we keep that feeling in our mind, and take one more nice deep breath together in through the nose. And out through the mouth. All right, so for our last piece of mindful reflection, we're going to move downward towards the beautiful sand that's filling up this house. I would say most of us, again, if not all of us, have had this memory. That's okay. We're kind of making some memories today as well. So many of us have had that memory of walking barefoot across a warm sandy beach at some point in time. And it's sand that it's not too hot, so you have to run across it, but it's on a cooler day in the summer where you're able to walk and feel your feet sink one at a time into this warm sand. And you're looking out and seeing the spread of the glittering blue waters that await you. And a lot of the time when we're going to the beach, it's a day that we get to be relaxed, a day where we get to just lay out in the warm sun, fold out our towel and not focus on all of the tasks we have to do and our responsibilities, but just do what feels right to us and enjoy that moment of taking care of ourselves and connecting with ourselves and with others. So I want us that as we are thinking of this feeling of the warm sand between our toes, of sitting out on our beach towel as we read a favorite book or listen to music, I want us to think back to one of those times where we were able to really fully take care of ourselves. One of those times where we were able to put ourselves first, put our own needs of peace and restoration first. And this could be something small, like going for a walk, or something larger, like setting out a day for ourselves. We were able to be really creative and connect with the people in our lives who love us and support us. Or maybe you're still working on trying to come up with that plan that helps you feel more restored, and that's totally fine. That is all part of it. So now that we've gone through our 3 portions of reflection, we're going to kind of put it all together today. So I want us to go back to this sort of image of the beach that we're on. We've made it. We're going to lay down the towel, enjoy the warmth of the sun, enjoy the crashing sound of the waves, the laughter and the chatter of others around us. Or maybe for you, your oasis is quiet, where all you can hear is the rise and the fall of the waves in the water. And I want us to imagine that rather being at the beach on our own, maybe we're there with the people or the things that make us feel really at home, in the most supported and safe sense of the word. So maybe you're there with your friends who've always made you feel really held and seen and bring a lot of laughter to your life. Maybe you're there with your partner who never fails to be there for you and to know what you need and to make you smile. Maybe you're there with family members who have known you from the time that you were very young. They see you as you are now too. Or maybe we're there with a cherished furry family member, a dog or a cat, or maybe another animal in our lives. So now, as we wrap up this part of our session, I'm going to hand it back to Derek very soon. I'm going to allow us to just reflect on that feeling that we had, reflect on that moment, and allow us to take this memory with us on days where maybe we're needing a little bit of extra support and extra care. So we're going to kind of keep that moment right here. So when we need a little bit of extra light and support in our lives, we can go back to this time that we've created, a comfortable space all together with the people, the animals, and the things that we love the most. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to turn it back to Derek now to conclude our mindfulness session today.
Oh, thank you. Could I actually ask that we stay on this image, Sophie? I'm inspired. Hope you don't mind. I'm going to ad-lib a bit or improv a bit. I'm just inspired by that wonderful little story. And I want to take us there. And so to close in our meditation, I want us to take a look at this image, whether our mind's eye or onto the screen, and imagine ourselves walking up, putting our feet in that warm sand, feeling that warm sand on our toes. Oh, it's so hot. And then the sunlight on our skin, feeling that heat, that warmth, that energizing sunlight. As our feet are warmed by the sand, our body is warmed by that sun. And we're safe in that room. We're safe in the sunlight. And maybe we feel restored, this burst of heat and warmth and light helps us feel this opening sensation, our shoulders perhaps rolling back, our chest opening, our heart opening, feeling delight. It's a sunny day and there's sand under my feet. And perhaps we smile, feeling all that love surrounded by those we love, as Abby Lee had taken us to that beautiful little scenery, surrounded by loved ones. And again, just taking a moment to notice our hands, notice our legs, our feet that are right in front of us. And just taking a moment just to feel a little sense of like, you know what? My body's a good body. And I want to thank Abby Lee for that wonderful bit of storytelling and for inspiring that little play with a little visualization and feeling some good feelings through the power of manipulation, right? We can manipulate ourselves to improve our mood. So I hope you all enjoyed this, that little playful feet in the sand, sun on the skin. And I'm so thankful we all get to share in this really nice way to start Monday. Sophie, I want to yield the floor back to you for any closing remarks to wrap this up. And once again, thank you, Abby Lee, for that really wonderful little guided journey.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Derek and Abby Lee. That was wonderful. Just to conclude, I would like to thank everyone who is watching both in the webinar and live on Facebook. If you have any questions or if you're curious about when the next session is, you can find us online at agw.ca and follow us on social media at agw401. And with that being said, I hope that you have a wonderful week and we'll see you all next time for the next Mindful Mondays. Take care, everyone.
I'll talk for now.